Hi, we are Turkey Group. Today we proud to present Public Finance and the Law of Government in Turkey. Hi, my name is Napat Hanta.
And I, Tilaka Kusalanupav.
And my name is Tak Trapan. Okay, let's start with introduce of Turkey. Republic of Turkey is bordered by 8 countries. Greece to the west, Bulgaria to the northwest, Georgia to the northeast, Armenia and the Azerbaijani exclave of Nakhchivan and Iran to the east, and Iraq, Syria to the south, and Aegean Sea is to the west, the Black Sea to the north, and the Mediterranean Sea to the south, the Bosphorus, the Sea of Marmara, and the Dardanelles, which together from the Turkish Straits divide Thrace and Anatolia.
Since its formation as a republic in 1923, Turkey has developed a strong tradition of secularism. Turkey's constitution governs the legal framework of the country. It sets out of main principles of government and stabilities. Turkey as a unitary centralized state. The president of the republic is the head of state and has a largely ceremonial role. The president is elected for a 5-year term by direct elections, and Tayyip Erdogan is the first president elected by direct voting.
Yeah, about Turkey, we have 3 topics. First is fiscal and monetary. The second is budget balance. And the third is Turkey GDP. We will start with fiscal and monetary. In 1990, Turkey's government applied a large-scale policy and an excessive deficit financing strategy. In order to attain high growth performance, till the end of the period, public deficits, which comprise the central government budget, local government, the social security system, extra budgetary and revolving fund, and state-owned enterprise, reached a peak of 11.7% of GDP. And then, the Turkey had changed in 2000. That it was fiscal reform happened. First is accountability and transparency. The second is macro-level decision-making process and allocation of resources. The social expenditure and government transfer. The fourth is social security system. And the last one is public enterprise, like state-owned enterprise. First, accountability and transparency. The budget scope as the PFMC law was completely put into practice in 2006. The comprehensiveness of the central government budget was expanded. 33 institutions were included in the budget. In addition, local government extra budgetary fund, revolving fund and social security account were also attached to the budget memorandum. Contingent liability were shown in the budget as part of the newly established list account, and all external financing was included in the budget. By the way, the budget classification. An analytical budget classification was established in 2004. This classification is based on the international COFOG code. COFOG is the classification of function of government, with administrative function and economical breakdown. The extra budgetary fund. The vast majority of extra budgetary funds were abolished, leaving only 5. The Social Solidarity Fund, Saving Deposit Insurance Fund, Defense Industry Support Fund and Promotion Fund. The Public Procurement System. The public procurement system became more transparent and efficient. Internal and external control. The scope of external control was expanded, and the new internal control concept was initially in line with the PFMC law. Earmarking. In 2004, earmarking of revenue of first-hand expenditure program was abolished by Law number 5217. monitoring. Monitoring and reporting. The basic standards were determined for public account in line with international standards. Specifically for report formats were defined such as activity report, the fiscal position report, debt management report, and borrowing. The last one is strategy report. Data coverage, periodicity, and timeliness of the general government account were rearranged. The next one is macro level decision making process and allocation of resources. Multi-year budgeting. The multi-year budget system was initiated in 2006 according to the PFMC. Decentralization. Agency has more opportunity to lead their decision-making process. Strategy development units were created in the agency and given responsibility for preparing strategic plan, performance program, budget proposal, and activity report, together with the function of improving the internal control system in the parent organization. The last is decision-making process. A strategic decision-making system was put into practice. Agency under the scope of the PFMC law now supposed to prepare their strategic plans and performance programs. The next one is social expenditure and government transfer. The social expenditure. The government have more fiscal space for alternative social programs as the rate of interest payment in the budget decreased. Agricultural transfers. Agricultural transfers were mostly done in income support. Social security system. Institutional structure. The separated social bodies were unified under the umbrella of the society security institution. And the retirement age. The retirement age was right for a more sustainable actuarial balance. The public enterprise. The economic activity, the government completely withdrew from the sector of textile, mill, paper, forestry, mining, iron and steel, fertilizer, oil refining, and distribution of petrochemical and cement. The government withdrew partially from telecommunication, airline industry, electricity production, and distribution, sugar and meat production, and banking.
Now, government revenues. The tax takes as a share of GDP has remained stable, but there has been a dramatic shift in the composition of tax revenues. Given the importance of revenue growth for fiscal outcomes over the past decade, a closer look at government revenue dynamics is warranted. Central government revenue in Turkey have averaged about 23% of GDP since 2000, with the variation largely being contained to 1 percentage point of GDP. Over the period, the level of central government revenue is broadly in line with other fast-growing emerging markets, although it is low relative to OECD members. What is noteworthy is the change in the composition of tax revenue over this period. Revenue from the special consumption tax and taxes on international trade have grown significantly. The tax on international trade are mainly the VAT on import goods and do not differ from the VAT on domestic goods revenue. From these two taxes increased by 13 percentage points of total central government revenue and now make up about 40% of the total. The three main components of the social fund contributions are the pension fund, the unemployment insurance fund, and the general health insurance fund. Social fund contributions are primarily driven by pension fund contributions, with unemployment contributions and particularly health insurance contributions growing in importance in recent years. Health insurance contribution are now at 2.5% of GDP from zero in 2007, while unemployment contributions have grown to 0.5% of GDP from close to zero in 2000. Pension contributions were at 4% of GDP in 2000 and have since increased to 5.3% of GDP. At first glance, these shares are not particularly high by international standards. However, accounting for the demographic profile of the country, Turkey becomes an outlier with relatively high social contributions given its young population. Consequently, the contribution rates needed for this level of revenue are high by international standards. The contributions are in the form of payroll taxes, with employers' contribution at about 19.5% of gross monthly income, and employees' contribution at about 14%. These tax rates, in addition to personal income tax rates that range from 15 to 35%, imply a high labor tax wage.
And the government expenditure. The dramatic decline in interest rate expenditure was partly matched by an increase in non-interest current expenditure. In the first half of the decade, central government non-interest expenditure declined marginally to 17.6% of GDP, but already during this period, transfer to social security agencies increased by almost 2 percentage points of GDP. This trend continued in the second half of the decade, with current transfer expanding 2.2 percentage point of the 4.8 percentage point. Increase in central government non-interest expenditure between 2005 and 2010. Direct transfer to the Social Security Organization account for 1.2 percentage point of the overall increase of 2.2 percentage point in current transfer. An increase in compensation to public employees account for almost 1 percentage point of GDP of increase in overall non-interest expenditure. A small increase of capital expenditures explain the bulk of the remainder. And the expenditure have delivered universal health insurance of high quality, generous pensions for retired and recently small but growing and unemployment insurance benefits. While establishing causation is beyond the scope of this work, this expenditure have certainly contribute in some way to the dramatically improved social outcome in Turkey. Over the last decade, infant mortality has plucked from over 13 deaths per 1,000 live births to less than 10, while life expectancy at birth has risen from 65 to 75 years. Pension benefits are second only to New Zealand in the OECD, with the contributory minimum pension making up a particularly large share for overall benefits. In 2009, the minimum pension was set at a level which was more than the net minimum wage.
Okay guys, all we talk is the public finance and all of government law in Turkey. So thank you for your attention.
Teşekkür. Bye. มึงเอาตั้งแต่
นับไปเลยเดี๋ยว
จริงๆเอาตั้งแต่มึงกดอาราบิกมาก็ได้นะ
กูยังไม่ได้ใส่เสื้อ
delivered